friends. It's been a while since the last painting, so I thought we would do an awesome painting today. Let me get those colors running down below, explain kind of what I got going on here. I got a 16 by 20-inch canvas. The canvas is wet. I did apply Bob Ross liquid white on the entire canvas, so it is wet and slick and all that good fun stuff. And if you have your 2-inch brush, I thought today we'd rock out with that brush out and do ourselves a really cool painting. So I'm going to start off right into some blue, and I'm going to throw in some black. So just some blue and some black, okay? Nothing particular, just a little bit on both. And we'll start right here. And just do these nice little X's. Remember, some blue, some black, okay? A little blue, a little black. Come over here. And just do these nice little X's. Just gives you some action in the sky, as you can tell. And as you keep going down with it, it is mixing with that white medium, and it automatically makes everything nice and light as you go down towards the horizon, which is exactly what you need to do. All right, some blue, some black. I'm going to come up here and just make this a little bit darker. There we go. There we go. And we're just moving that down. I don't have a lot of paint on here, okay? Don't have a lot of paint. So just always, less is best when you're doing this particular technique, okay? There we go. There we go. Just keep doing these nice little X's. And if you don't have a lot of paint on your brush, it automatically, as I'm going back over, it's just blending it. I don't have to rewash that brush. I'm going to add just a little bit more color right in here. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more up here in the corners. A little bit more over here. There we go. Wherever you like it. Wherever you like it, okay? You're not bound. Not bound. You can use whatever colors you like. I just want a nice kind of action. Like a little bit of a storm or something in the background, as you can tell, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and just grab a little fan brush here. I'm going to grab a little bit of this white, maybe come into a little bit of this crimson, and then maybe just touch a little bit of that blue. Well, kind of a lavender there. Maybe a little bit more on the blue. A little bit more on the blue. We're just going to put in just a little floaters or something. I'm just using the corner of the brush. And I'm just going to kind of, there we go. Something small, not much, just a little something. Just a little something. And I'm just kind of scrubbing it. There we go. A little bit more up top. There we go. And then kind of work my way. Yeah, I'll do something like that. Just a little something so we have something in the sky. There. Let me put that down. I'll just grab that same dirty brush I had that we just did everything, and I'm just going to go real soft. Remember, if you don't have a lot of paint, you don't have to worry about having a clean brush. You can go over and just get everything where you need it to be. Let me just, there we go. Now I got this one little fuzzy right there. Let me knock that off, and there you go. Nice, beautiful sky. With the palette knife, let's go ahead and mix up a nice dark color here, okay? So I'm going to go with some crimson. Nice big chunk. We're going to need it. Nice big chunk. I'll just put it right there. I want about the same amount of black and the same amount of my blue. So Alizarin Crimson. There we go. Some crimson, some blue, some black, all equal proportion, best as you can, okay? There we go. All right, yeah, go ahead and clean that knife. And I'm gonna I'll just grab another 2-inch brush. I'm gonna come right in here. All right, and I'm gonna start to just shape by tapping. And I'm going to fill all this in black. Usually I do that. I put the black gesso. Of course, you let that dry because it's acrylic. And then I would normally do that because I know I need black. But today, I figure we'll just do some stuff like this. And right now, I don't care about anything but just the top edges. Just this top stuff right here, okay? And I might just go just a tad bit higher. Maybe something like that. There. And I'm just coming in, just tapping that open. And maybe we'll do something like that. Maybe get a nice little, and we'll just pop that like that. A little bit more character right there. There we go. And maybe, I don't know, we'll make that pop out a little bit more. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead like this. Just get some color on here. And I'm just going to come right here and darken this all up. And darken this all up. There we go. And I'll come back. Same thing. Just do something like this. And just there we go. All I'm doing right now is just blocking in some color. Now I'm going to come in and just start to put in some land so I know what I'm dealing with. Maybe you'll have it come up a little bit higher, and then there. So we know we're going to have some mortar there, and we'll have some nice trees, okay? I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to take a liner, or excuse me, a palette knife, and just come in and scratch in some branches. Some nice little indications here, there. There we go, maybe. There we go. Wherever. Most of that's going to get covered up, but at least it gives you an idea of where you're going to put your trees and bushes and stuff like that. So maybe we'll have something else right here. Okay. Clean your knife. And now we're going to have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to grab a Bob Ross oval brush. You can use a 1-inch. You can use a 2-inch, whatever you like. And I'm going to come in. And I'm going to grab a little bit of this white. Just a little bit of the white. And I'm going to start just having a little bit of fun. So I'm going to come in and maybe go right straight into my Indian yellow. And I'm going to come in, just pull some down and tap it open. There we go. And let's go ahead and just have some fun. So I can barely see anything, and it's barely coming out. So I'm going to go and just dip into just a little bit of medium, because you got all this thick paint right there. Okay, so you add a little bit of that medium to it, not much, just enough to thin it down. Same thing, tap it open, and now when you pop, there we go. There we go. And we'll do a little bit more. A little bit more, maybe. There we go. Nice, beautiful tree just to start out. I'm going to come right over here and go into a little bit of my crimson. And I'll go right back into here. Right back into my Indian yellow and the crimson. Tap that open. And maybe we'll put something right here. There we go. Nice, beautiful thing. I'm going to get a little bit of that medium. I'm going to go right into my yellow ochre. And I'm going to come in and just pop some colors. Right now, there's just a little bit of difference between them, okay? So I'm going to come in. I'm going to go right into my crimson. There we go. Let me get just a little bit of that. There we go. And let's have some fun. What can we pop off here? There we go. So nice red bush, okay? And let me dip just a little bit more into that medium. I'll just come right over here and maybe a little bit of that yellow ochre in there, okay? And we'll come in and just start to pop. There we go. And I think I'll go into some green. And I'll pop that. This will still have some green colors. Let me grab just a drip of that medium. Go right back into this green. Tap that. There we go. There we go. Add some nice green in there. There we go. And I'm going to go right back into my yellow ochre. Right back into the yellow ochre. And we grab a little bit more. Tap that open. Or not yellow ochre, excuse me, Indian yellow. And we'll just come in and start to pop in some other things. There we go. Right down into shadow. There we go. And then I'm going to go into yellow. And once again, I'm just going to get a drip, just a drip of that medium. I'm going to go right into my yellow. Open it up, open up those bristles. And let's find something else, maybe right here. There we go. And maybe right there. Okay? So nice fall, autumn type of colors here. There we go. And there we go. Beautiful, huh? And we got to start thinking about what we're going to put down there as well. So since I have this yellow, I'll start right here. There we go. All the way down. And maybe get a little bit of that pink in here. And we'll come over here and ooh, that's a nice color. You got some yellow and some red working. And I'm going to grab a little bit of this white. And I'm going to come right over here. Tap that open. There. Right down into shadow. And then I'm going to come over here back into my yellow, Indian yellow, and my crimson. There we go. There we go. And then there we go. And then some green. Maybe. There we go. Just some nice stuff right there. Beautiful colors. I'm going to put that down. I'm going to grab a 2-inch brush. Give me 1 second. I got a bunch of them. And I'm going to come in and just start to pull some of this down. There. Just pull some of that down. And I'm going to add maybe some extra little color here. Let me just give this a little wiping. I just want to add some of this color in here. Maybe something like that. There. Get a little bit of red. There. And some green. There. This way we have some extra colors in here. There. And I'll put that down. I'm going to grab that 2-inch brush and just very softly, straight down the best that you can. And then just go across. And just go across. And then I'm going to use the same brush, don't matter. I'm going to go right into some white. And I'm just going to tap in. So we have some separation here. Just so we have some separation. Tap, tap, tap. Just tap, tap. There we go. There we go. And then very softly. Don't lift all the way up, just right here, okay? Very, very softly. And then across. All right. And I'm going to come in and just grab a little bit of this white. And I'll add just a touch of brown. Just a touch of brown. It's not so white. And just grab a little bit. We'll try to do ourselves a little bit of some land and some kind of water line. There we go. We'll just come in like so. And I'm going to come back, and you know what? I'll just grab a fan brush. I want to put a couple of pine trees, a couple of fir trees, just going right into that dark pile. Don't matter. Both sides, load it up. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and put a couple, maybe little trees right here. Maybe something right there. Maybe something right there. You can put one maybe maybe right there. And then just come in, just touch, and just start smashing that in. There. There we go. Load up, do it again. Come in, touch, and just start smashing that in. Remember, you got some thick paint there, so you're probably going to have to either reload, or you can dip into just a small amount of your paint thinner or mineral spirits or some kind of thinning thing that you have. There. And another one here. There. There we go. And I'm just going to take this little palette knife. I just want a little bit more right here. There. Clean that. All right. And then I'll take that palette knife. I'm just going to come in and just straight up, just trying to, there you go. All right. Let me put that down for just a moment. I'm going to grab a liner brush. I'm going to dip into just a little bit of some paint thinner. I'm going to come right over here and get a little bit more of that brown. A little bit more of that brown. There we go. Just spin it, and just put in a trunk. Do something like that. There. And we'll go ahead and get that cleaned. Grab that fan brush again. I'm going to go right into this yellow with the same dirty brush because it's got blue and black. It's going to give me a nice color here. And I'm just going to grab a drip of some paint thinner. I'll go right back in here. Here we go. All right. And I'm just going to do just basic stuff, just touch. And just tap. Grab a little bit more. There we go. Just tap. Right there. All right. And right here. And just tapping and kind of moving in the zigzag back and forth. All the way down to shadow. There we go. And same thing here. Touch. There we go. Right down into shadow. So we got some nice pine trees working. Let me go ahead and put that down. And I'm going to have to build something over here. So I'm going to use that same brush from earlier. Let's get that dark stuff that we have. I'm going to add a little bit of green to this. And just come in just like so. And I'm going to start to just push it, okay? Just pushing. It's going to take a lot of paint, just so you know. That's why we made a nice big old pile. We're just going to come in and just fill this in a little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. A lot of paint, as you can tell. A lot of paint. Just come in like so. And I'm going to come in. I'm going to grab a little 1-inch brush. I'm going to start to highlight this a little bit here. So I'm going to grab just a drip, and go right into some yellow, straight yellow this time. Straight down, turn the brush, and just come in and there. And we'll grab a little bit of that green. And maybe we'll pop something right there. And I'm going to go right into some of my yellow ochre here. Straight down. And we'll come in and just start to pop some stuff out. And let me grab just a drip of that paint thinner. I'm going to go right into the last of my Indian yellow, and I'll go grab a little bit of this pink. There. Straight down. I'm going to come in and just start to pop some stuff. There. Into some yellow ochre. Just kind of trying to switch up the colors a little bit. And maybe there. There we go. Once again, get a drip of your medium, and I'm going to go, and I'll come right over here. I'm going to grab more of that red. There we go. I'm going to come over here and just put a few more things in. There we go. Same thing here. There we go. There. There we go. Maybe a little bit of green this time. Come over here. Well, right here. There. There we go. And when I put in some branches, it will look awesome. It will look awesome. And there we go. Try. There we go. A little bit more green. Gotta have some green still left. There we go. Maybe right there. There we go. And I think I'll try to put in a little bit of a cabin. Maybe pop a cabin and grab some of this darker. There we go. Nice. Look at the texture on that, huh? There. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just want to pop in some quick little lines, and then do something. Let me grab a little bit of some white medium. I'm going to come right over here. And I'm just going to come in and start to just add a couple of branches here or there. Let me grab a different liner brush. Give me 1 second here. Where's my good guy? There it is. All right. So I'm going to load up here. There we go. And just put them wherever you think. Wherever you think there should be a branch. Ah, perfect. Right where there needs to be one. There we go. And I'm gonna probably cover a lot of this up, but we'll just have some fun while we're here. At least to get some practice, and that's the most important thing. Got to practice, right? So there we go. And I'll go ahead and clean that into some paint thinner. And I'm gonna go right into some of my black here. I'm gonna come in and put in some nice dark lines here. There you go. There you go. There. You don't have to always have light. You can have dark, okay? But you put your dark ones in the lighter spots and it sticks out. And maybe there, you get a little bit more of that paint thinner starting to dry out. Make sure you have paint thinner on here. There. There we go. Woo. Boom. There. All right, let me clean that. I'm gonna grab my palette knife, and I think we'll try to do some kind of cabin here. So let's see. Let's scrape out what we need to scrape out. There we go. Just a little bit more. There. And that gives you a basic idea. Basic idea. Okay. And I'm going to come in and grab my flat brush. I'm going to go right into my burnt umber. Just using a flat brush here. And I'm going to come in and just start to paint in my house. There we go. There we go. Same thing here. Just come down like that and then just straight down. There we go. There we go. And maybe we'll have it come this way a little bit. And down. We have a little bit of the back side of it. Okay. There we go. There we go. So you have it like that. We have it like that, and then across. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down for just a moment. And I have what's known as a rake brush, and I'm going to go ahead and use, where's the smaller one? I'm going to use a half inch rake brush or comb brush. I'm going to come right in here, grab some of this white, and go right into here. All right, a little bit more there. And I'm going to come in and start to put in these boards. Put in the boards. Just using that rake brush. Here. Grab a little bit more, load up. And then same thing over here. A little bit difficult when you're on the angle, but just do your best. Maybe right here. Okay, and there's going to be our lighter side, so I'm just going to grab with just a little bit of white. Just a little bit of white. And just put in a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There. There. And then need that back side, so I'm going to grab this same color, just add a little bit of black to it. Just a little bit of black, a little bit more. Keep going back and forth till you get the color you want. Luckily, I have that color right there, so this lets me know how much darker. And the same thing, it's going to come in. There. Yeah, nice dark colors there. And I'm going to go ahead. And I think I might try to use this as well for the roof. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a little bit of this color here and the brown, a little bit of this red I got left of it, and go into the brown. And I'm going to come right here and do the same thing. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get that cleaned. I'll just drop it in there, and I got a smaller one. This is a 3/8. Now I'm gonna go into some of this white and that brown again, and I'm just putting some right up top, right up top. And just like that, just like that. Maybe there. And I'm gonna go just grab some black, and I'm just gonna come right here and just darken this straight down. There we go. A little bit more black, and just come up here, just darken out a little bit so there's a little bit of a shadow there. And now I'm gonna go ahead. I got another little guy. This is gonna be a 1/4 inch. And I'm gonna come in, and I just want to put a chimney. I'm just gonna use this. I'll just put this right here. There we go. And you got ourselves a little chimney. And if you want to highlight just a little bit, just grab a little bit of white and just right there. There you go. So we got a beautiful looking cabin there. And I got one more left. This is my biggest one. This is a 5/8 of an inch. I'm just going to grab some straight black. Some straight black, and I'm going to come in, and hopefully this comes out somewhat straight. And there you go. So we got a nice doorway. And I'm going to go ahead right now and just take my palette knife and kind of just come in and scrape off a little bit right there. And I got some white and some brown and just a touch of that black in there. We got a little bit of some shadowy color. So it's nice and marble. You come in and just, and I want a little bit more white in there, and maybe just a touch of that blue. There, something like that. I'll come in there, and very soft, just graze it. Come back with a little bit of dark just to give it some, a little bit more. There you go. There you go. And I'll put that down. I'll grab that 1-inch brush that I had, and we'll go ahead and just fill in a little bit. Grab a little bit of my white medium. Remember, this brush is dirty, so I'm going right into my yellow. And I'm going to come in and just pop in some stuff real quick. Maybe something like that. There we go. And maybe right there. Let's tap it. It's a little tight, so I'm going to just tap open and do something like that. There you go. And maybe just right here. There, kind of pushes that back. All right. And let me go ahead and just grab that liner brush one last time, wherever I put it. There we go. I'm going to grab some paint thinner. And I'm going to go right back into here. And I just want to put in some extra little things. There we go. And this right here could probably use some black, so I'm going to dip into that paint thinner. I'm going to go right into some of my black. And I'm going to come in and just, there we go. There we go. There. And a couple more spots, maybe right here. There we go. And maybe right in there. And one last couple of things, and we'll call it a day. I'm just going to go right into my medium. And there. And maybe a couple more things right there. All right, and with that, I think we'll call that a finished painting. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more of my white medium. I'm going to come right here. Just got to find a spot to sign. Probably just sign right here. There we go. Always sign your painting. Always sign your painting. There. This one's a little bit hidden. This one's a little bit hidden. So you'll have to look for my signature on this one. But as always, till next time, I want to wish you the best. Take care of yourself and stay safe.